Hello, welcome back to Beneficiary LIVENODING. I want to give you a puzzle. Take a look at this and think on how you can create something like this procedurally. So everything needs to be done using nodes or whatever method you can think of. I've done this a couple of times in the past, but I think this the one that I'm gonna create is probably the most efficient and controllable, and perhaps can open up a lot of other ways that you can expand the result. So let's get started. So basically, SVerchok is really good at connecting points. So you want to make a lot of lines that's kind of intertwined, but it's kind of like if you think of a single line of cable and you want to put a lot of smaller cables inside it. So basically, that's the idea. So we're gonna start with a line, but not just a line. I actually want to use a plane. So let's save this very quick. Save it as cables or something. And we're gonna create fewer draw for now. So this is a single plane, XY single plane. Let's center this out. Okay, and we can plug in. We can use this matrix. So similar to the box node, we actually have matrix. And if you want to make like a plane that's going on the sideways, we probably want to use YZ. Okay, so we can grow it like that. And let's actually, it's totally up to you which one you want to use. You can use this one, I guess. So let's make it simple. 10 planes based on this line. Okay, why do we need a plane? Because I want to use points inside, random points on mesh. Okay, so this should be useful because we want to create random points where we're gonna connect the dots. Okay, so let's see if this is already working. We have 10 points per polygon face. I might need to merge this one, so let's join. Oh, actually, I don't need to merge it. Sorry. Vertices and face. So we have 10 points on every polygon face. All right, we can actually increase the number. All right. Let's say we have 5 points. So we have this plane, all right. Okay, keep it 10. Now I want to randomize each point's position, so I'm gonna use range of number. Number range, okay. Integer count. How many we have? We have 10 points. Okay, so 5 random points on mesh. Just plug this in. We might need to split. Okay, now each point on the mesh is randomized. Now you can see they are all random. We don't actually need to do that, but that's for later. So this is 10. Plug this in. Plug this in. So we can increase the number, and it's gonna randomize accordingly. So keep this 10 for now. So we have 10 data of each points on the mesh, but we want to use, but we have we want to connect the dots, right? So we need to please flip. I think this is how we do it. Let's flip and then use UV connection. Maybe level. Okay. I think we are getting somewhere. At this point, we already have the connected dots kind of randomized. If I get rid of the randomizations, it's basically just a bunch of lines, and we can increase the number of lines. Let's switch back to this one actually. So we can increase the number of lines. We can play around with the size of the lines. And again, we can randomize. So this is what we get. So it's a really controllable system. We can actually at any time in here, we can kind of randomize this line as well. So if we just use randomize it in Z and in the Y axis, or even in X, so it's even further randomizing the result. Right. So next we can just use polyline. So we get that. This is an actual curve. And we can turn on B-spline. So we start to get somewhere quite interesting. Remember that we actually start all using the plane. And this plane, you can deform the plane using path. So you can really control this line. So the plane also is quite controllable. We can squeeze it. And we can increase this resolutions, whatever we like. And this is just a simple line. And this number range, we can randomize. So it's almost like a single line, and then you offset it slightly using noise. And you can also use noise displacement and here. Starting to get, it looks complicated, but it's not really. Oh, I think just now I just plug this one to the wrong thing. Okay, this is not good. That's too much. So what else can we do here? We can play around with the radius of curve, of course. Let's do that. Random number, float, plug this into the radius. Increase the size, and now we're gonna have different radius for our curve. We can randomize the seed, of course, and the seed can actually come from this. We need to know, however, how many points we have per curve. So list length. Okay, we actually have 100. Okay, that's actually connected to the one behind. So step 100. Connected to this guy. So some numbers are connected. So now it's starting to look like a noodles here, but it still makes sense. The one that's really doing the hard job is this one, random points on mesh. We can increase the number of this guy as well. We're gonna have more curve. And yeah, so random number range. Okay, this one should go in there. Range counts. Okay, this one should be 100, I think. Yeah. So if we reduce this or increase it, we still have all the randomization. So it's almost like okay, instead of cable, this is more like the muscles of some kind of creatures, like a robot. And you can really actually somewhere here, so with the matrix here, instead of just plugging the points, you can actually use the matrix, which means you can randomize the scale here for the muscle, right? And you can also rotate it. You can randomize the rotations if you like. I don't know what's gonna happen if I do this. Yeah, it's twisting. Yeah, that's slightly interesting. Not gonna do that, I guess, not for now. But you can twist the plane of this, the plane that where the points reside, and then how we connect the points. But you can randomize the scale as well. So that's the twist. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we can do here. So that's the randomizations of the cable thickness. I think the number that's really important is this, of course, and this guy. Right, so we can end up with lots of objects here. Be careful. Over 1000 is starting to get slow, but this is still pretty good. Look, see, you can randomize it, and you can use cavity, shadow, cable. Yeah, so now we have this. It's pretty cool. So yeah, and like I said, this is it's quite a robust system, because again, if you replace this line, or maybe use a grease pencil, you can actually draw grease pencil, and you're gonna get this based on grease pencil stroke. Alright, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. This is looks kind of slightly complicated, but it's actually quite simple. Again, the one that's doing the hard job, maybe random points and UV connections. This one is really powerful. This node has been there inside SVerchok for many years. So yeah, hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.